Guys, it's me again, Orc Slayer. What ifs? Where we last left off? Let's see. Checking. So where you last left off, Deku essentially went through the UA entrance exam, was given permission to use a special type of revolvers that were specifically designed to put the robots down in a way. As he did not have an easy time, he did have a somewhat more easy time thanks to, the power of guns. Second Amendment, hell yeah. Anyways. His guns were specially designed to take down the robots. His quirk allowed him to manipulate the bullets, thankfully, since they were, again, specially made, or in another case, they were little things that had a charge. They were put in, and when they were fired, it depleted the charge in the battery, you could say. Deku did very well in this scenario, where he got around, he doesn't know. He doesn't know the amount of points he got, but he knows he did well by how his dad acted. He and his dad had a miniature standoff in Nezu's little office there, so that way they could see who was faster. And Deku and his dad, if I remember, were pretty even. Their drawing and their ability to fire as quickly as possible were just about even. If not, Deku may have a little bit more of an edge. But they left. So Deku's going for the last few days of school, and he actually talks with Ida a bit. As he's like, "So Ida, how'd you do?" He's like, as it's 2 weeks have passed, and as they're talking, he's like, "Yeah, I was able to get to 1A." That's what Deku says. And Ida's like, "What a coincidence, Midoriya. So did I," as he gives him the paper. As Deku's like, "Oh, that's good, Ida. Good. So I'll see you there." He's like, "Yes, Midoriya, you definitely will." So with that being said, sorry. With that being sorry, I just swallowed some spit went to my lung or something. Sorry. As Deku was talking, he actually does go all the way over to where Kirishima and Mina do live. As he does talk with them, asking them about how did they do on their thing. As with how they did, they actually did show him, and he's like, "Oh, good for you guys. I actually did clap. Well, that's good for you guys. So you both are getting into 1A? It's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Wait, where did you get in?" He's like, he let out a long sigh. He's like, "Unfortunately, I'm in 1A too." As he says it like that, it's like, as they're like, "Oh, Midoriya, so we're all going to class together." It's sort of their mindset. Not mindset, but is what they're all cheering about. And they all go out and grab something to eat together, as they typically do. Now we'll cut forward as Deku is at his I forget what it's called, damn it. His my brain is farting so hard right now. His desk, there we go, is at his little desk that he has. As he's looking over a picture, he's like, what would my costume be? He's running it through his head. What should his costume look like? How should it be? He wants to stay with his, the cowboy theme he and his father have, but he also wants to different it a lot. His father has, a poncho, what it seems like a poncho, with normal cowboy hat and gas mask. So he's thinking about what could he wear to make himself unique. So as he's looking over, he's like, "I got it." So as he starts, I believe they had to write down or draw what they wanted. So as Deku's drawing down what he wants, he makes it like this. So he's gonna still have a rebreather, but it's gonna be a different form. It's not gonna be that long tube gas mask his father has. It's gonna be more or less one that comes around with tubes leading down, just leading to the back of the head, or filters similar to that. His coat is gonna be a nice, a solid. His trench coat is going to be a solid red leather jacket, similar to, well, I wouldn't say red leather jacket. I'd say like a dark maroon, if you know what I mean. It's similar to like Dante's from Devil May Cry. Underneath, he will have some bulletproof vest or things along those lines, like some metal armor, you would say, like armor underneath the vest, or underneath the. Sorry, I'm kind of stuttering at this moment. It will be under his duster, as his boots will be just normal like boots. He won't have the same spurs his father does. He'll have two gloves with a bit of like little bits of metal along the sides of the upper arm, of the lower arm, around his forearm, and his fingers. As to like, if he has to like pull up his fist, he can start throwing punches and even guard himself a little bit. As for weapons, he's trying to decide that. He's trying to decide, well, he could just have a interchangeable loadout if he wants, since any weapon really works with his quirk, or any projectile-based weaponry. So he's trying to decide, should he go with a submachine gun, a handgun, revolver, or what? He decides to do this, so he'll have a small lever action rifle that will go down right on his right around his either his thigh or on the back, right on his back, above a little bit above the waist or a little bit below the waist, so he can easily access it. Now for his two main sidearms will be I believe it was an 1873 or 75 outlaw revolver, which I should be putting a picture up right now. I looked around for just some weapons I think look neat, that seemed pretty cowboy-like. Not gonna lie, I literally just looked up cowboy revolvers and looked up a specific brand. Anyways, those will be the type of weapons he'll have. Close, small, I think it's from medium to long range in a way. And what Deku will be doing is that's the main type of weapons he'll use. And for a mix-up, I thought it would be a neat idea for him to have what is it called? Oh, yeah, a lasso. Yeah, I'm not joking. His lasso will be made out of something similar to Aizawa's. It's very durable and meant to be able to very easily used. As Deku's a cowboy, of course he's based off he's Snipe's son, who is basically a cowboy. Of course he's getting a lasso, as he has a lasso on his right, where he'll use it as a capture technique, so he doesn't just have to blast people in the knees, legs, arms, or anywhere non-vital. So that will be Deku's outfit. I hope I gave a good enough description to you. And yes, he will have high-tech sunglasses. And, of course, a cowboy hat. Alright. It's a very nice cowboy hat. And he'll be wearing, normal combat pants, I'll say. Because he's trying to be, like his father, a modern cowboy. Not a more modern cowboy with some militaristic values, like combat armor and such like that. And like I said, two 1873 or 75 outlaw revolvers, a small lever action rifle, I couldn't just find a named one for that, cowboy hat, a long duster, because I'll say Deku is pretty tall in this, so it doesn't look bad on him. A duster that actually looks good. It's like Dante's. Gloves, and armored up gloves and forearm armor to keep trying so that way he can fight people hand to hand if it comes down to it. Now that I got that out of the way, and a lasso, it's made of high durable material. Yes, Deku does know how to use it. So we skip forward to where Deku arrives at UA. That being said, Deku is like, alright. Let's do this. As he's psyching himself up, as it's Midoriya, he's like, what the? And he's like, who are you? It's it's me. Not who are you, but it's he meets he doesn't meet Kirishima and all of them. Before even Deku arrives, when he opens the door, it's just Bakugo is still getting yelled at by Ida. Mina and Kirishima are still saying that thing, and they're hey, what's up, man? He's oh, Kirishima, it's good to see ya. So you guys weren't lying when you said you got into UA. It's yeah, so, how have you been? He's oh, I've been good, as they start off the conversation. As Ida even comes over, Midoriya! It's oh, hey, Ida. It's sorry for not introducing myself sooner, but I was dealing with this delinquent who is I don't know the exact words he used, I can't remember, but he's putting feet on people's, the school's property. He's Ida, let me give you a bit of advice. You may have been the class president at our old school and people respected you. There's gonna be people with actual powers here who will fight you. Especially from the looks of him with his stink eye that he's giving both of us. He doesn't like either of us. And I'm betting he's got a I'm the best person in the room complex. He'll either get washed out or his fantasy will be broken. Let's go. As then it's just he takes a seat down, as his father gave him a head up who runs this class. As Bakugo's about to have a freak out, I was that's enough. Coming up all groggy and such, he's so, it took you guys this long to shut up. As Uraraka did introduce herself to Mina as she was about to go say hi to Deku, that's when, Aizawa came up. As Deku's hey, Mr. Aizawa. Is so, you're Snipes' kid? It's huh. I don't know what he looks like, and I don't really care. But, let's just say, let's hope you do good on this test. And it's everyone's what test? It's Deku's alright. As he sets up, where's the locker rooms? It's that way. He's alright. It's wait, where are you going? Mr. Aizawa always has his students go through a physical exam or a quirk test instead of doing the entrance ceremony. So as they get ready, as Deku heads off, he gets ready. So all the other guys are man, I can't believe we're here. As they're all talking, Deku's ugh. You alright, Midoriya? He's had a late night. Stayed up designing my hero costume. It's oh, what do you think? What do you think about it? It's I like it. It'll probably be accepted. It's oh, really? He's yep. As they're all talking, Deku eventually gets done early and walks out. As I was always Midoriya, for this test you'll be excluded. It's your quirk really isn't based on fighting. It's get put a gun in my hand and it's made for fighting. It's yeah, well, that's my point. Is as he's talking with Deku about the quirks and how this whole thing will play out. As his Deku's alright. As when it comes to racing and doing the other things, Deku does pretty good in a way. He's very, I said, unlike I'm pretty sure most of the students who came to UA, aside from some of them, he's in pretty good condition, physical condition. Like I said, he's been training a lot. And Kirishima and them are when it comes to speed, Deku's pretty high up there with it, since he does run. He is very fast, and he does have a lot of endurance. Strength wise, he isn't like the highest guy. Like, he ain't beating Sato, I think. Yeah, he can't beat Sato, because Sato's quirk is literally super strength. Super strength when he eats sugar. So Sato downs the thing of sugar and just crushes the thing or whatever. Dick is like, alright. As he gets it to a lot of pressure. Sorry. As Deku is doing pretty well. Now when it comes to ball throw, as it's like, Midoriya, throw this. As he's like, alright. As he throws it. As when it comes to Deku, he does score high enough to get above most, like, let's see, it went to Mineta, Jiro, then from up there, I'd say he probably placed in the middle racket, since he did pretty decently overall, unlike Mineta or Toru, Araraka and all them, like, those people, he did far better. As with that, it's like, Mineta, you're expelled. He's like, wait, what? As the threat about being expelled was told. As Deku's like, alright, let's get going. As it's like, Midoriya, wait, a classmate just got expelled. He's like, alright, sorry buddy, but you know, UA teachers have high expectations. If it was my dad, he'd have done the exact same thing. As he like says that, it's like, wait, Snipe? Yeah, Snipe is your dad. Wait a second. It's like, alright, it's like back to class. As Deku continues forward. This point, All Might has given the quirk to nobody. Nezu and them have been pushing him to, like, you know, find somebody suitable for the quirk. As he just really hasn't thought about it. Like, he's just been focusing on keeping the thing going and such. He only chose Midoriya, and I think, like, I'll lay off Mirio for this point, just for now. Deku and them go through school as they typically would. Going through it, and then we'll go to the... As after school, they're all talking, like, Deku's walking with Kirishima, Mina, Ida, and as well as Uraraka. As with Uraraka, like, thanking Mina and Deku for saving her, it's like, it's no problem. As Deku's, like, yawning, his dad's like, Deku, we need to talk. It's like, oh, see you guys. Yeah, Dad? It's like, come on. Like, yo, what's happening? It's like, they got your gear here. They wanted to see what you thought about. He's like, oh. As he, like, gets the case and opens it, he flips around the small lever action rifle. As he takes a look at it and, like, sort of use it and, like, cocks it, like, using the lever action. As he feels the grip and everything, he's like, feels good, it feels good. As he's like, it's pretty light, all things considered, as he, like, has the, like, sort of holsters on as he puts in the back holster. Then he goes grab the two outlaw revolvers. As they're like, they call them the outlaw revolvers. He's like, I'm not an outlaw. It's like, yeah, but you know, cowboy theme, right? He's like, as he's like flipping it, he's like, alright, feels good. As he's flipping it around, he's like, yeah, seems good. As he like sort of holsters them. And then he gets in a stance, like, sort of like a stance ready to pull. As then it's like, his dad, like, has something, as he says, draw. As Deku quickly pulls out the first lever action as he then fires. Like, since he, in his mind, he'll always have one in the chamber, always cocked and ready to go. And then, as when he, like, fires, then pulls out his first pistol, and then pulls out his second, as in when, like, bang, puts it back, bang, bang, as he, like, when he put back the second one, as he was pulling out his second pistol, quickly pulled out the other one and fired. So that's like, Good timing. Well, as he's like, seems like all this stuff is in order, and yes, Deku, you'll be using real bullets. Deku's like, alright. At least you'll have some, not all. You always kind of worried about the perception of you being allowed to have a real gun. He's like, you are literally my dad. What would they have to worry about? You shooting a kid during, and he's like, during what? He's like, alright, you didn't hear this from me, but you're gonna have a hero versus villains tomorrow. The one who's gonna do this is All Might. He'll sort of get you guys on the rolling of heroes versus villains. He's like, so, alright then. As Deku says that, he like hands back the weapons to his dad. He's like, I'll return this to Power Loader. See you later, Deku, but I got some paperwork to do here. He's like, alright, Dad, see ya. As Todoroki... how would Todoroki react to a healthy father and son relationship? As Deku's like, alright, time to go home. As he starts heading home. As then it skips to the next day. Deku's like, coffee. I need coffee. As he's walking to like the train station, he sees an ad where it's Snipe. As Snipe is like testing out some firearms. Well, not firearms, but it's like coffee. Coffee, as it's like the Desperado coffee, brought to you by Snipe. You know, I don't always drink coffee, but when I do, I prefer Desperado coffee. As Deku's like, Dad, when did you sell out? As he's like, come on, Dad. As his mom actually heard about this and actually showed it to Deku. Deku thought it was an edited video until it's like, I prefer Desperado coffee when I'm hunting down villains late at night. As it like shows him on a building, taking off the mask, putting the straw in, just like taking a nice like, and then it's like, refreshing. Up there's one goes. As he pulls out his pistol and blasts, he's like, Dad, you depress me. Seriously, sellout. He's like, anyways. As he gets on the train and goes home. Not home, to school, since it's the next day. As he's like, alright. Don't tell anyone about what we're doing today. As when he gets to school and gets all that over with, he's like, alright. Got his weapons, and he's like, alright. Let's see. As when everyone's like, where's Midoriya? As Deku had to go to the support course, since they forgot to give him his weapons. As he's like, I'm here. As they hear like in a filtered mask voice. Let me do that again. I'm here. Don't worry. Like nothing. I haven't been left behind. As then people are like, Midoriya, what in the... He's like, yeah. Don't worry. I'm armed with real bullets. As they're like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I won't be using this for the entire thing, letting you know. It's like, they allowed me to keep it, so, you know. It's a benefit of being the son of a sharpshooter, ain't it? As he lets out a chuckle. Everyone else is like, okay, I don't think that's safe, but oh well, I don't get to decide that. As then it's like All Might's like hero battles and such, as Deku is still put up against against Ida and Bakugo. Deku's like, alright, as he's talking with Uraraka, Blondie's gonna come at us like a charging bull. And Ida, he's gonna stay around the bomb, I bet. Always been the one to be a sentry, that one. As he like pulls out his two pistols, he's like, let's do this. As they like walk in, he's like checking, keeping one gun pointed forward and the other, if they go like past the hallway, keeps one pointing backward. It's like, alright, Uraraka, move up. As he's just like, so here, take these. As he like tosses her a couple of things, like, wait, what are these? Flashbangs. It's like, you want flashbangs? He's like, yeah, my dad uses them from time to time. Thought it'd be a smart idea to add it to my arsenal. Also, be warned of going, like, losing your hearing. As is like, thanks. He's like, yep. As they're moving forward, Bakugo does the whole exploding through a wall. Deku's like, oh, watch out, Uraraka. As he actually jumped forward, grabbing her, and it's like, moving. As he's like, make us float. As she's like, wait, what? He's like, do it. As she touched them both, and it's just like, float. And then she stopped it. As he lands, he's like, well. I guess I was right. You are more stubborn than a bull in heat. It's like, what? He's like, you're more yappy than a dumb coyote. It's like, well, never mind, you don't understand. As he like pulls forward his pistol, he's like, Uraraka, if you would so kindly make your way to, as he like has put on the accent for a little bit, would you please so kindly make your way all the way to Ida? I'll deal with this riffraff right here. As the pistols have a blue light to them, in a way. He's like, now, shall we dance, partner? As he's like, I'm not your damn partner. He's like, whatever you say. As he lets out a chuckle. He like, does, for people, like, he's weird, because he seems to like shift personalities. He seems very calm and collected in some parts, and then he just seems like a jokester to others. He's a very confusing person, as Deku's like, well now that we're alone, as he lets off the first shot. As Bakugo comes charging in with blast, he's like, well, I haven't felt this much excitement in years. As he like dodges left to right, missing the explosions. As he's like, you know, I would say you actually have a chance at hurting me. As he like takes a leap back too bad. As he like throws out a couple flashbangs, as Bakugo's like, wait, what? As he covers his eyes, as Deku's like, lasso. As he lassos him and shoots him a couple times with the shock things, eventually hog-tying Bakugo. It's just like hog time. He's like hog-tying time. As he just pretty much puts him in that position, he's like, see ya, boy. As he just like, oh, also, if you try to get out of those, this flashbang is right in front of you. As he has it set to where it will go off. Nah, it's too complicated. He just walks up to, like, Uraraka's place. As she's like, well, it seems Uraraka's having a mighty hard time. As he throws flashbang, as he just throws it in there, he's like, Uraraka's, wait, what? As she, like, goes to cover her face. As earlier, Uraraka's sneaking up and heard Ida do his whole, oh, I'm a villain monologue. As she's like, oh. As she goes to laugh, she pretty much throws the flashbangs out as she pulled the pin. As she forgot to pull the pin. I'll scratch what I said. She didn't pull the pin. As she throws it, she's like, wait a minute. As Ida just like gets hit in the face by it. As he's like, ow. It's like, what is this? As he's like, a flashbang? Like, where did you? As she's like, takes the other pin. As then she throws it. He's like, just a bang and then ringing. He's like, what the? Oh. As he's unable to recover his vision, as he pretty much is able to see a little bit, as he sinks a pink and black blob moving towards the bomb. As he like rushes forward grabbing the bomb, he's like, you will not get the secret weapon. As he's like looking all around the room, just focusing on the blob that he sees in front of him. As Deku's like, oh boy. Throws a couple more in as he gets around there and just bang. Now with that being said, Deku and Uraraka win. And it's all yay. And that's where I'm going to be ending this one off at for now. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. Hope y'all continue to enjoy this. And I hope y'all have a nice day, nice night, nice life.